Hey, what's up, y'all? DPR here with another training tip for this week. So I'm going to talk about cutters and turnout gear and bunker gear setups. And the first thing that's important to mention is that people taught me this. Okay, this isn't stuff that I came up with. You know, big shout out to Rob Ramirez, Jonah Smith. Those guys really were, got out on the front end of this stuff. I learned from them. So I don't claim any of this stuff. And I think the important thing is, we move in a small circle. And everybody in our circle knows this type of stuff. But our circle is just a small little piece of the fire service. So there's a whole bunch of folks out there in the fire service that may have never heard about this. And my goal is to kind of share this so that we can widen that circle so we can share information with everybody that's crucial and important. So if you look at my coat, and I got my gloves on for a reason. We'll talk about that in a second. My coat is set up pretty much in what I call the action circle. Got my radio mic, okay? Got my flashlight, and I got my cutters. Okay? Carry my cutters. I carry two sets. I carry one set up high. I carry another set in my pants. So no matter what configuration I'm in, I can make contact with a set of cutters. Got a glow-in-the-dark golf ball on here. That's not really about the fluorescent glow-in-the-dark golf ball. What that is a different shape from everything else here. So if I'm in a jam, limited visibility, I got to try to find my cutters. I run my hand down and I find the golf ball. So now I can get my cutters out of my pocket and I got a leash on them. So I can run my hand through the leash and I can start to use my cutters. This is very important because if we're in that crisis situation, remember, heart rate's probably over 180. We've lost all our manual dexterity. We get our cutters out and we go to use them and we drop them. Okay, now we're already in a panic situation. So what happens is we stick our hands down, trying to find them, hit the cutters, and we push them out of our arm's range. This way, if I drop them, I can still get them. Okay. I've always been a fan of the Klein cutters. Now there's a couple disadvantages to these. The first one is it really is a two-handed tool. If I try to manipulate these with one hand, I can't get a real big bite. Okay. If I want to get a big bite, I really need to use two hands. Now, there's different theories, different thoughts on cutters. I mean, some people like a straight blade cutter. Some people like a spring-loaded cutter. Hey, you figure out for yourself what the best setup for you is. The important thing is have a set of cutters on your turnout gear that you can readily find in a crisis situation. Have two sets because if I'm pushed down and I can't get to my chest, I can still get to my leg pocket. Okay. The other thing about these is this is part of what I call your first line gear, and I'm going to talk about that in a long video in the future, first, second, and third line gear. If you have a set of cutters in your pocket and you don't take them out on a regular basis, they're going to freeze up, they're going to rust. That's exactly what happened to mine. I've been retired a couple months, haven't messed with my cutters, took them out, and they were rusted shut. So I had to exercise them, use a little WD-40 on them. So my advice is when you go to work, when you set your gear up in your riding position, if you're carrying a set of cutters, pull them out of your pocket, exercise them a little bit. I'm wearing my gloves because when I do this, when I check my stuff, I want to replicate the condition I'm going to be in if I got to use my cutters. Okay? The sense of touch and feel is different bare hand from gloves. If I'm in a jam and I got to use my cutters, I'm not going to take my gloves off. I need to know what that golf ball feels like wearing my gloves. So throw your gloves on when you do this. Rob Ramirez talks about the series of dominoes that fall in a crisis situation. Familiarity with feel and gloves takes that domino out of play. So throw your gloves on real quick, understand what that feels like, pull your cutters out, exercise them a little bit. So that's my tip for the week. couple shout outs to some folks that I spent some time with at Gone to Texas. First one is the Affordable Drill Tower guys. These guys are phenomenal. They're down to earth, good, honest businessmen that build some great training props. So if your department is in the market for a training facility and you have a limited budget or whatever your budget is, reach out to these folks because they're going to do you a good deal and they're going to give you a great product. And the other one that I want to give a real prop to is the guys at Taylor's Tins. Spent some time talking with these guys. They've done some work for me. If you're looking for a frontispiece, locker tags, accountability tags, signs, whatever, reach out to them. They're artists. They're honest, reliable businessmen that produce a great product. And that in their heart, they're firemen. They understand the business. They understand the fire service. And they're going to do you right. So those are my two shout outs for this week. Great guys. Reach out to them if you're in the market for any of that stuff. I hope the video was helpful. And remember, as I always say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Thank you.